Hey everyone, Classic Joey Mac here. On my last update, I was talking about the movie experience, or movie-going experience, compared to today from yesterday, and I didn't do like a compare analysis. Just pointed out some differences, pointed out, I guess, more of the feeling of what it was like. But today, I wanted to do a video on watching a movie at home. Not the whole experience, not anything like that. A couple of differences from back in the day to now, and that I had noticed. Some things that sort of rub me the wrong way, and I'm curious to see if they, annoy others. The other night, me and my wife were watching The Shawshank Redemption, which is an incredible movie. Unfortunately, we were watching it on TV. I think it was like IFC. That was the channel. I don't really know. I want to say it was that, though. Now, Shawshank is I think it's a fairly long movie, if I remember correctly, like on its own. I don't know what it is, but the amount of commercial breaks that we went through, and I should have timed it, was insanity. I mean, it made it to the point where it's almost not watchable. Back in the day, I felt like, commercials have always been around, but you do feel like there are so many more commercial breaks that it's almost like even par with the movie now. Like, it's like someone thought, hey, why are we letting them watch a movie, when we could just dump a bunch of commercials in and lengthen the movie? Like, instead of two and a half hours, let's make the movie 3 hours and pump another half an hour of commercials in on top of the normal commercials. It just was like, it was really unbearable, and it was sad. It was sort of sad because I can remember being a kid, commercials were great. They were a chance to go to the bathroom, a chance to go get a snack, a chance to fill up your drink, whatever. Now I felt like there's so many commercials that there's too many, like, in terms of why would I want to stop doing anything? I can do it 100 times. Like, all I have to do is wait 5 minutes. We did count a few times where literally the movie was just there was like 5 minutes of movie, and then there would be like 8 minutes of commercials. It wasn't like that all the time, but it really does feel like in today's world, it's like, God, like, how many more commercials can you saturate into a movie? Like, why even put a movie on? Why don't you just have the all commercial channel? Me and my wife are big fans of The Walking Dead. Now that we used to time all the time in terms of commercials, and I really hate to point that stuff out, but it's like we would be watching The Walking Dead, and then there'd be like, the commercials would practically match how much we just saw. I mean, it was literally like, there were times where it was like literally 38 minutes of The Walking Dead, 22 minutes of commercials. I mean, that's pretty long. That's a lot of commercials. Again, commercials have always been around, but I can remember a time, and I know this for a fact, like, I loved the X-Men cartoons and Batman cartoons when I was a kid. I have all those on DVD. If you watch, one of them, commercial break would be like right in the middle of an episode, usually. So you'd get like, I don't know, 12 minutes of X-Men, couple minutes of commercial, and then 12 more minutes. A lot of X-Men episodes are like 24, 25 minutes sometimes. And it's like, so there was only a few minutes of commercials. Like, compare that to today, and it's like, it's almost half and half. It's like 60-40 commercials to what you're watching. It just feels like constantly being beat over the head. But you know what really made me the saddest was when we were watching Shawshank. The movie ended. I'm sorry, the movie didn't even end. And it raised the movie up the channel. The credits were playing underneath the movie that's playing, just so they can get to the commercial break without having to show you the end credits. That just blew me away. I mean, I've seen them end the movie and then the credits get, like, they go real fast and then you see a commercial on top of them. I don't think I've ever seen a time where the movie is still going on. There's still like 2 minutes of the movie, which, I mean, the end of The Shawshank Redemption is pretty good. And it rose up. The screen like was divided in half between the movie that was playing and the credits playing underneath real fast. And that way, the movie and the credits ended simultaneously. And we got to a commercial break. I just think it's a sad commentary on where we are today. And again, I know things have to change. I'm not against change. But at some point, I feel like we have to evaluate, like, how important is it to make that much money? How important is it to cram 20 to 30 more seconds of commercials into credits? Or in this case, 1 to 2 more minutes of commercials, because for God's sakes, you're ending the movie early and prematurely just to get through the credits, and then that way you can take more commercial breaks. I mean, that's just sad. That is really sad. I feel bad, and maybe I shouldn't because they're all millionaires probably. But I do kind of feel bad that a movie is made and the credits are there for a reason. And I remember, in the old days, you'd watch a movie and the credits would play. The credits would play normally with music and everything. Then sometimes credits are a few minutes long. They would play on TV. I mean, watching a movie on TV was a big deal. There would be Sunday night movie, Friday night movie, Saturday night movie, or dinner and a movie on TBS, which was great. They were like big deals, or like, Wednesday afternoon movie, blah, blah, blah. And it would be like a whole thing, a little intro would come on, and then movie would come on. But the credits, man, I mean, these people like took the time to make this movie. This is like, who watches the credits? Probably not many people, but it's like, have some respect. Like, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to throw the credits in and make it so fast, like, just to get to the next damn commercial? It just feels like every experience in your life, something like watching a movie, sitting down and watching a movie, isn't even the same. I mean, it's not like, again, like, you just sort of, you get yourself ready, you get your food ready, you get your snacks, you sit down and you're ready to watch a movie. Even on TV, that was cool. And like I said earlier, the commercials, just a chance to get a break. Oh, I gotta use the bathroom. Let me get another Pepsi. You got commercials every 5 minutes now. I tried to watch Scarface the other night. I couldn't even do it. I couldn't do it with the amount of commercials there were. It's just sad, like a sad movie experience, that you don't, like, unless you have Netflix or, the DVD or Blu-ray, like, it's almost like not worth watching them. Although, how about this one too? I was watching a movie on demand and it actually paused in the middle of the movie for a 3-minute commercial break. And you couldn't fast forward through it. I mean, that's the stuff that I'm talking about, where I'm like, my God, like, we can't escape any of this. I'm waiting for that on, like, well, Blu-rays and DVDs, I'm sure within 10 years will be gone. But it's like, it's going to get to a point where you will not be able to watch a movie in a row without some sort of commercial interruption. How dare you try to watch a movie without commercials? I mean, it's bad. It just seems like everything has got to be so rushed, so oversaturated, so commercialized with commercials. It just seems like a lot, and it was sad. It was a shame. Like, sometimes it's nice to have a break in the middle of a movie. You get a chance to talk to everyone, like, oh my God, did you see that, or whatever. That was a cool time back in the day. Now it's like, I found myself, me and my wife were sitting there, we're like, oh my God, another commercial? Oh my God, another commercial. Like, it like made the movie unbearable, because you're like waiting for, you're watching the clock out all the time. You're like, when is the movie coming back on? And then when the movie would come on, you'd be like, oh, when's there going to be another commercial? You just kept waiting for it. So, I'm curious to see what others think. I know that sometimes these can come across as like me complaining or whining, and I am to a point. But again, I'm like, does it bother people? Or is it just sort of like, no, that's just the way it is now, just accept it. Because sometimes I do these and I'm not really doing it to complain. I'm doing it to point out. I'm doing it to contrast to the way things were. And I think that gets misconstrued, like, back then it was great, now it's not. No. You can't compare, watching it on a TV today as opposed to then. Could I sit there and say the nostalgia factor was cool back then? Yeah, I could. But I mean, if you gave me a choice to, watch TV on my Aquos, blah blah 4-color sharp TV that's like 50 inches and like a 32-inch box Zenith from 1993, I'm gonna choose my TV. Or Zenith, I think that's what it is. But anyway, it's not a comparison. It just does come across as just being always rushed, always needing commercials, always, never being able to just enjoy something. Like there's always got to be commercials or something in it. It just gets tiring after a while. So curious to see what everyone else's experience is on the subject. Let me know. Hit me up on Twitter at Classic Joey Mac, and check out Tumblr for any updates. And always, be sure to, send me a tweet on, Twitter and, maybe give me some ideas or whatever. And let me know what your experience is, especially with watching a movie on TV. What was it like back in the day for you? What do you remember? And then, of course, now, what's your thoughts on it now? So, all right. I will talk to you guys later. Keep it classic.